Chapter 1: The Monkey That Wouldn't Stay Put. The first thing Calvin noticed wasn't the monkey. It was the smell. Not popcorn, not cotton candy, not kettle corn drifting from the food trucks lined up along the edge of the parking lot. It was warm cotton, fresh coffee, and something faintly sweet, like cinnamon drifting from somewhere deeper inside the craft fair tent. Pudge noticed something else entirely. Woof! His nose went into overdrive. The Northern Michigan Fall Makers Festival stretched across the high school gymnasium and spilled into the parking lot outside. Booths lined the walls. Tables overflowed with quilts, wood carvings, jars of honey, handmade soaps, candles shaped like pine cones, and knitted hats that looked like small, colorful mountains. Calvin loved this place. He didn't love the early wake-up call. But once they arrived, once he heard the murmur of conversation and the scrape of folding chairs and the low hum of people building something with their hands, it felt different from anywhere else. It felt alive. Pudge pulled slightly on the leash. "Easy," Calvin said. "You're not here to sample the merchandise." Pudge sneezed in response. They moved slowly down the aisle, Calvin scanning booth signs, reading hand-lettered banners, admiring carved wooden birds and hand-painted lake scenes. Then he saw it. A white sign with red letters slightly tilted. Jean's Northern Stitches. The tablecloth beneath it was simple and blue, a little crooked at one corner. Rows of sock monkeys sat upright in neat lines, facing outward like a very polite audience. All except one. That one leaned sideways. Calvin paused. He didn't know why. It wasn't the biggest booth. It wasn't the loudest. There were no flashing lights or bright banners shouting sale. But something about the crooked monkey made him stop. Pudge stopped too. The monkey had classic red heels and a brown sock body. Its stitched smile tilted slightly upward on one side. One button eye was just a little bigger than the other. It was leaning, not falling, not collapsing, just leaning forward like it had something important to say. Behind the table sat a woman in her 50s with soft gray threaded through her dark hair. She wore a warm knit sweater and glasses that slid down her nose slightly when she looked up. Beside her chair leaned two canes. Calvin noticed them the way observant kids notice everything without staring. The woman noticed Calvin noticing. She smiled, not politely, but knowingly. "Morning," she said warmly. "Careful there. That one's got ideas." Calvin blinked. "Which one?" She nodded toward the leaning monkey. "That's Barnabey Button." The name felt important, like it came with capital letters. Pudge gave a curious huff and leaned forward to sniff. Barnabey tipped. Not dramatically, just enough. Jean reached forward and gently adjusted him. "There now," she said softly. "You can behave for 5 minutes." The monkey leaned again. Calvin's eyebrows lifted. "Does he do that a lot?" Jean chuckled. It was a quiet laugh, but full. "Every fair, every table, every time I sit him straight." She didn't seem annoyed. She seemed amused. Calvin stepped closer. Up close, he could see the stitching. Each seam was firm, tight, deliberate. The fabric was soft from washing. The red heel was bright against the brown body. One knee had a faint stitched patch. "Did you make these?" Calvin asked. "Every one," Jean replied. "Cut, stuffed, sewed, buttoned, tested for durability." She tapped the table gently. "That one especially.